I'm going just like this, Brenda. Well, hello and welcome to Miss Congeniality.
This week on Miss Congeniality, we're interviewing a fashion diva. Brenda Blount is the owner of A Better You Image Transformation.
And I have done entire seminars on the fact that blacks do not have to match.
She used to be a model, a pageant coach, a fashion merchandising executive.
You've got a garden in your kitchen. Sort of.
Let me tell you what, this lady is all style and class. We'll find out what drew her to Mississippi, maybe see some of her private collection, and learn a few table manners in the process. Up next on Miss Congeniality. Hello and welcome to Miss Congeniality. I'm your host, Jamie Doris, and today's special guest is a lady I met at a fashion show. Of course, she was dressed to the nines, but her hair, I kid you not, it was this big. She looked like she stepped off a plane from Atlanta. In fact, she did. This big city fashion stylist made Gulfport her home more than 30 years ago, and she's been dressing the Gulf Coast ever since. Introducing the one, the only, Brenda Blount.
I love the hair. I love your hair.
Thank you.
I do. Come on in. It's an old A-frame.
This is gorgeous. You know what it reminds me? It's like a little loft in a city apartment in Paris. Is that what you were going for?
Yeah, it's a little bit eclectic. It's that shabby chic, not too formal, but then formal touches.
How about a little tour?
Okay, so this is the A-frame. You walk in, and then this is the great room here.
Whoa!
Yeah, we redid a lot of it. This is so eclectic.
You've got a garden in your kitchen.
Sort of.
For being a big city girl, you got a lot of country roots, honey.
That's true. Well, my mom's from Gulfport, so there you go.
You have made this like cozy cottage, sexy and comfortable.
Yeah, I'm all about the sex.
She said it, not me. All right. Well, I do have questions for you. Excuse me.
Okay. All righty.
Show us your private collection.
Okay, I have something gorgeous for you I'd like for you to try on.
Is this it right here so far?
Yeah, this is a K. Unger strapless, and I've been dying to get you into this.
Okay, so we're doing this right here.
Well,
right here.
Look at how adorable that would be on you. I was a buyer for Gayfers. I'm just dating myself. Gayfers was a department store here many, many years ago. And I was a buyer. I went to New York every other month. And so when they sold to Dillard's, I didn't want to move. And then I became the director of the shopping promenade, so at Beau Rivage. And when we opened, we carried Dolce & Gabbana, we carried M for Missoni, we carried so many brands because that's what they carried in Vegas. So whatever you could find in Vegas, you could find right here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast at Beau Rivage. It was really exciting.
And who would have thought that?
Yeah.
And this was what, late 90s?
I was hired in 1998. We opened in 2000, and yeah, that was the beginning of all of that. Yeah.
And so this is some of the collection.
Yes, some of the collection from Beau Rivage Collections. Oh my gosh, you look like Annie, get your gun. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, hot mama. Now that looks great.
Well?
Oh my gosh. It's a little too big, but this is where having a great seamstress would come in.
Now, Brenda, this vest is coming home with me. You know, I'm noticing a trend with almost all of your clothes here, and there's a high quality to them.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a uniqueness about each item.
Right.
Why is that?
I guess because when I was about 10 years old, I saw my first Vogue magazine, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to do something with this. And I learned how to sew immediately. And
when you were 10?
Yeah, when I was 10. I learned how to sew. Long before Project Runway, I was that kid that was in her room sewing, designing, fitting things for my body, and wearing them to school and being just cool and crazy and not caring.
That you didn't get it at the local store, you made it yourself.
Yeah, I made it myself, and people thought I was goofy and crazy, and that girl's weird, and I was like, yeah, but I look better than everybody. So I found this at a vintage clothing store in New Orleans. It's just amazing. You can't find fabric like this anymore. Well, you can if you're in New York. You can find fabric like this at Mood or someplace. And this is my big thing. Look at this kind of skirt underneath to give it just a little bit more life. And just the way it's finished. The seams are all bound and done beautifully. So I love it. Oh my gosh. You look like the housewives of
Bay St. Louis.
Yeah.
So you're serious about this fashion stuff.
Yeah. You look amazing.
I love this. I think I want to take this home too.
Yeah.
I'm telling her what I'm taking home out of her closet.
I always have to have a surprise.
Okay.
So this is something that you would not normally wear, but I really want you to try it.
This skirt.
It is.
Woo, I like it. But
Yeah.
this and this are not the same color black.
And I have done entire seminars on the fact that blacks do not have to match.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
You will drive yourself crazy. Now we're going to give this a little rock and roll edge.
Woo!
By adding just this little jacket. This is very like rocker, kind of chic. The skirt is really beautiful and has nothing to do with the jacket. The jacket came from Walmart. But you would never know that. I'm just going to show you another option to go with this. That is the outfit.
Uh-oh. Well!
Let me unzip you.
Oh, you got to unzip me?
Yeah.
Oh, there was a zipper on it?
On the side.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't use the zipper.
There you go.
I just slid it on. Okay.
There you go.
What up? Didn't even have to go behind the curtain. But I've got some more questions for you. So can you guys sit down?
Yes, sure.
Right.
Come on in.
You are an etiquette coach. I called it the manners boot camp. What are your thoughts about etiquette in 2016?
My biggest pet peeve is using your phone in the ladies' room. Everyone hears it. And everyone watches to see if you're going to wash your hands when you get out. It's amplified so you can hear everything. He said, what? Oh, no. No one wants to hear that. There are assumptions made about etiquette that it's just a natural thing that people will know what to do, but it's not. And it's so important. It's so important, especially in business now, when so much business is conducted on a lunch. So if you go to a lunch with someone who is a potential employer and you stab your fork into your plate and start chowing down, and or you've got both your elbows on and you just start shoveling your food in and going, oh, okay, you want to ask me a question? Or here's my resume, and keep going. You're being judged by all of those things. There's no pretty way to eat. It's just gross. So that's why we have etiquette, so that you can do it the best you can. This is something that is a life skill that you need in order to be successful in life.
But I noticed you have some bread out.
Yes.
What was all that about? Is that part of your etiquette?
Well, no.
Are you being a good hostess?
I'm being a great hostess. I have bread dipping, and we're going to have cheese and just a little cheese tray, some meat and cheese. And
When she said cheese and crackers, I thought cheese crackers.
no, this is like going to your old Italian grandmother's.
This is super, super fancy. It's like my style in South Mississippi. This is awesome.
It's rosemary and garlic spices, and the robust olive oil makes it really, really good. Can I get you some Pellegrino?
Would you like to adopt me?
My long lost child. I love it. Look at
We
you.
have so much in common.
I know. I love it.
So how did this big city girl end up in South Mississippi? Well, like most things in life, it wasn't planned. Brenda was headed to California in the 1970s to continue her fashion degree. Gulfport was merely a stepping stone.
So I came to Gulfport to my grandparents, and I said, I need $3,000 because I really want to go to California. And my grandfather said, well, that's a lot of money. So you need to get a job and make half the money, and then I'll give you the other half. Well, I thought, oh, this is going to be easy because I'm never going to find a job in this little podunk town. At the time, everything was downtown Gulfport. So my grandfather took me to downtown Gulfport, and there was the old learner shop, and he said, go in there and see if you can't get a job in there. And I was like, okay. I go in and I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, they were still handwriting tickets. I hadn't seen that. I'd been living in a big city, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, go for it.
And
Oh, no.
it was in the 70s. They were still handwriting tickets when you purchased something. So, Daddy, I don't think they're hiring. I just don't think they are hiring. And so he says, okay, well, there's one more place. There's one more place down there on the beach. Let me go take you down there. And it was Gaffer's. And so I walked in, I filled out all the my application and everything, and I came back and I said, well, I filled out the application. That's all I can say. I filled out the application.
You're trying so hard.
I'm trying so hard. As we're driving up, my grandmother comes out on the porch and she goes, honey, they just called for Brenda. They want her to come back. I'm like, did I leave my purse, or why would they be calling me? He said, I read your application, it's really good. And he goes, who are your people? And I said, beg your pardon. He goes, who are your people?
That's
who
not
are
something you would hear in a big city.
Who are your people? Who are your people? I go, well, my grandfather is Jesse Williams. Jesse and him. He goes, I know Jesse. I'm like, really? He goes, yes, I know him. He was a deputy sheriff. I said, yeah. He goes, well, we're going to give you a job. So I got to work at Gaffer's, and the rest is history. I've been here ever since. So.
Oh, but Mississippi's not too bad. So tell me, what do you like about Mississippi?
I love the fact that we are centrally located. I love New Orleans, so New Orleans is 50 minutes from my door. I have lots of friends in New Orleans. My family still lives in Florida. We can hit I-10 and we are in Florida. It is centrally located. We have made this big full life here. I like to say we're big fish in a little pond, and I love the coast. I love the coast. It's been really good. And all of our friends who come to visit us from New York, they are amazed because they've heard everything except the good thing about Mississippi. So when they come to visit us, they're just bowled over. They're like, oh my gosh.
Is this Zumba music?
It is. I thought it would be really cool to be a 60-year-old Zumba instructor, so I got my license in September. So,
Hold
if
on,
you want
a Zumba instructor at 60.
that's me.
Does she have any more surprises? Please show me a dance.
All right, so let's warm up. There you go.
We're warming.
Away. There you go.
I'm getting warm. Well, that's all. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miss Congeniality. If you know someone really cool that we can interview, please let us know. Drop us a line and tell us who this person is. And, well, I will see you next week. Bye. Hello and welcome to Miss Congeniality. This jacket, though. Now, I wouldn't wear it with this outfit, but this jacket.
Now, why wouldn't you wear it's a neutral. Why wouldn't you wear it with that outfit?
Because I'm not as cool as you.
Yes, there is something under here, but you can't see it.
My husband would say that's false advertising. An architect who believes in fairies? Up next week, oh my gosh, we'll be interviewing an urban designer who is seriously cool.